When growing small production areas, things like maybe a few rows of garlic, you may have to spray them from time to time. And the best way to spray them for small areas is to use a thing like a backpack or a knapsack. And unfortunately, not all chemicals have a rate for backpacks, so you may have to work out what the per hectare rate is. And to do that, you'll need to calibrate your knapsack or your backpack. And that's what I'm going to do now, show you the best way to calibrate your backpack for a per hectare rate. The first thing I've done is mark out a 1.5 metre by 10 metre area to put test spray on. So as you can see here, it's all been clearly marked out, and now I'm going to have a little test spray on that. So I've now set up my area, and I'll do a test run with the boom running with just plain water in there. "40, 41, 42. To spray that area it took about 42 seconds. Now that we've worked it took 42 seconds to do that small area, we now have to work out how much water we're putting out in that 42 seconds. So I've got a bucket here and a measuring container. You have the pump already on your backpack, and you go for 42 seconds. 40, 41, 42. That's 42 seconds worth of water that we've poured into this bucket. Now that we've caught the water into this bucket, we just need to measure how much. Works out to be 320 mils. Now that we've worked out the output of our knapsack, we need to calibrate the boom. And to do that, all we need is a piece of paper, a calculator and a pen. First thing we need to do is write down what we know. The area covered we did was 15 metres squared. It was 10 metres by 1.5 metres. Chemical rate, that's the application rate we want to spray. In this case we'll use an example, say, of Status. It's put out at a rate of 500 mils per hectare. So for this example, we'll use 500. We also need to put in what the volume of our knapsack is. And this knapsack, it holds 15 litres. Plus we also need to write down the volume that we just recorded over that time. And what we found was 320 mils, but you've got to write it as litres, so that's 0.32 litres. The next step, we need to work out the factor of that plot size. So we need to go 10,000 divided by area covered, which is 15. So I'll get our calculator and go 10,000 divided by 15 equals 667. Step 2 is to write down the factor we just worked out and times that by the calibration volume, which is times by 0.32 equals 213. 213. And at 213, that's how much litres per hectare that knapsack is calibrated to spray. So what we've worked out in the first two steps is that we need to have 500 mils in 213 litres of water to spray 1 hectare. Our second last step is to get the water rate of 213 litres and divide that by the knapsack volume of 15. And that equals 14.2. And that's 14.2 knapsacks you need to spray 1 hectare. And now we come to our last step. What we need to do is get the chemical rate of 500 mils per hectare divided by our factor of 14.2, which gives you 500 divided by 14.2 equals 35. And that's what we've got. So the chemical we need in our knapsack is 35 mils. And there we've done it. We've calibrated that knapsack, and if you have a walking speed like we talked about, and you have a full knapsack of 15 litres of water, you need to put in 35 mils of chemical, and you'll get the correct application rate for your crop. Well, there we've done it. We've calculated our knapsack, and you too can do the same thing. Use these steps that I've got here on the board and mark out your own area and work out your own volumes, and you too will be able to calibrate your knapsack.